How are we, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have got a different type of video for you. In my last video that I posted, I had a couple of people asking me about my sim, and I kind of was explaining in that video that it was kind of a budget sim setup, and that it wasn't actually that expensive, and it doesn't have to be that expensive. It's kind of as expensive as you want to make it. So I just want to go through the list of things that I have for my sim that works for me and works for me in my space. So the main thing you need is a net and a mat. The launch monitor is kind of extra, but it really does help if you want to add a launch monitor. But the main thing is a net. So the net that I went for, and it's hard to believe that it comes in this bag, is called the TGN7 net. The company is called the Golf Net. And the reason I went for this net, still can't believe it comes in this bag, but the reason that I went for this net is I don't have, let's say, a space that I can dedicate to a sim. This is set up in my garage. As you can see, this is a working garage, cars in and out of it every day. And when I get round to it, I try every evening to hit a few balls. And this is the reason why I went with this, because it folds down into this bag and I can put it away. Now, its real party trick is how long it takes for this net to pop up. And I don't think you're going to believe how quick we can get this net from this bag to set up that we can hit a ball. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to start with the net, and I'm going to show you why we went with this pop-up net. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set a timer on my phone. Let me just get it up. So, stopwatch, set at 0. Okay, we're going to go now. And literally, just like that, hit the stop. 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Your net is popped up and you're ready to hit balls. Now, one thing to bear in mind. I had these already connected. Now, it's a little trick for you that if you do buy this to make it even quicker, I just leave these always connected. So you have your impacts sheet, which is here. It's a really thick material. Plus you have a second net behind it. And then that's your outer net. So it doesn't even matter how fast your ball speeds are. You're not putting a ball through that. But that's just to bear in mind. So you could say you can add another 30 seconds for me to tie them up again. 5 minutes, you're set up, your net's up, you're ready to hit balls. That is the main reason why I went with this. The fact that you can put it up and take it down within 5 minutes is kind of a no-brainer. Now, I done a lot of research for these pop-up nets, and there's another brand that does them called Spornia. Now, the reason I didn't go with the Spornia one is because their Spornia 7, I think it's called, is supposed to be 7 feet by 7 feet. It comes in, now, please correct me on this, but around €450 plus your shipping. And the next one up, which is the one that I wanted, was the SPG 8. And it's supposed to be 8 feet by 8 feet. And it comes in at like 550, 560 plus shipping. Now the size of this net is 7.5 feet by 7.5 feet. So it's right in between the two sizes of its competitor. And I got this net for €320, brand new, off the TGN7, the golf net website. Now, the TGN has been kind enough to give me a discount code to give to you guys. So if anybody is interested in picking up this net, if you use code SHANE10, you will grab yourself 10% off the retail price of this. What I paid was 320 quid. So that's for the net. In my opinion, it's the most important part. You have this hood that comes over, so when you're hitting like a 60-degree shot or a 56-degree shot, you're not gonna go up and hit the roof. Now, there is extras that don't come in for the price of €320. If you want to use your TGN7 net as a simulator, you will need to get the simulator sheet that goes over here. Now what I'll do is I will just pop that on and show you. It literally just clips on with these like little, would you call them like fisheye hooks? And they just clip into the net. And that's your impact sheet on. Now that sheet is an additional €30. You kind of need it if you want to set it up as a simulator. Now mine is absolutely black with dirt. As I said, this is a working garage. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to get dirty, but I'm okay with it. It is what it is. The other option, I'm going to call it an option because it's not essential. For me as an 18 handicap golfer, this was an essential because I don't trust my game at the minute. But it's the shank proof nets you can get for it. So I'll just attach them on here as well. So these are just additional nets that again, they just hook on to your net like that. That's your shank proof. That's my shank proof net up. Now there is a second one for this side, but I don't use the other one. But it does come with a set of two that you can put on here. I just use the shank side. If you're a left-hand golfer, you might want to put on that one as well. But it does come with two of them. They are an additional €40. I believe that they're probably an essential for any high handicap golfer. So that's the net. Honestly, it's unbelievable. It's so easy to pop up and take down. And for winter golf, if you are serious about, maybe not even serious, if you just want to hit balls at the comfort of your own home, this can also be put up outside, and it comes with pegs that you can peg it down for outside use. It's the best thing that I've invested in my golf game anyway. I don't have to leave the house. I can pop it up in 5 minutes, take it back down in 5 minutes. I don't even know what else to say about it. It really, like, it speaks for itself. It really does. Now, of course, next thing, the mat. So this is my mat. Nothing special, nothing expensive, but this is my mat. I was lucky enough to get this mat as a deal with my launch monitor. But for anyone trying to do this on a budget, Facebook Marketplace, it's covered in these mats. You don't need to buy an expensive one, you just need to buy one that's thick enough that you're not going to hurt yourself. Because you can buy some super thin ones and it's like you're just hitting the ground. I believe this one is called PGM. I think they're like a Chinese brand or something. You see them on like AliExpress and that for like 80 to 100 quid. The second place where you can get a pretty good mat for, I would say, less than 50 euros is if you go to your local club or your local PGA pro even, who works with your golf club. The driving range will be changing these every 3 months, every 4 months, every 5 months. They're going to have stacks of them. They'll either sell you one for cheap or they'll give you one. There's nothing really else to say on the mat. That's kind of what it is. Now on to the fun stuff. So, I went with the MLM2 Pro by Rapsodo. Very, very, very good piece of kit. This wasn't bought new either. This was bought again off Marketplace. So I paid 400 euros for my MLM2 Pro, and the person I bought it off gave me the mat along with it. Now people mightn't be as lucky to get a deal like that, but these do pop up on Marketplace for in or around the 400 euro mark. I would say between 350 and 450 you can pick up a second-hand Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. Now this piece of kit, you can play simulated courses on it. There's an unbelievable target range with maybe hundreds of different targets. And what you're able to do is you can randomize the target you want. So just say you want to practice your shots from 30 yards to 100 yards. It'll give you 3 shots at each target, and you can add in as many targets as you want. So you can add in 6 targets between 30 and 100 yards, and it'll give you 3 shots at each of them. So you can dial in your yardages, and you can play on, and you can just play courses as well. It really is a top bit of kit. So yeah, that's my side of it. That's my launch monitor and mat at 400 euros I paid for it. So in total, so far, we're 320 plus 30 for the net and 40 for the shank-proof sides, which brings us to 40, 30, 390 euros plus another 400. So that brings us to 790 euro for our launch monitor, our mat, and our net. Now, how I use this MLM2 Pro, I use it with a projector because I have the sim screen, but you don't need a projector. You can connect this up to your phone, and you can put your phone beside you where you're hitting and look at the courses and look at your shots and all your data from your phone. So the projector is just a bit of an extra. You don't actually need it, but this is the way I have it set up with the projector. So this is my projector. This is the super cheap projector. I think it was like all over everyone's TikTok shop for like maybe 5 weeks. It was absolutely everywhere. This is literally what I use. I think this cost me 30 euro. So that brings us up to 820 quid. Now what I'll do is, I'll just set this up and we'll go through the other little small bits that you need. Another thing you're going to need if you want to use it with the projector is a HDMI lead and some form of cable. I can't remember what this cable is called, but I'm using the iPhone 15, so it's a USB-C to HDMI connector, and that's what I'm going to use to project the Rapsodo app from my phone to the projector onto the screen. I believe that was €6 off Amazon. And what's HDMI lead? 10 quid. So they're the two essentials that you need along with your projector to get it onto the screen. So I'll just set it up and we'll hit a couple of balls and I'll just show you how the finished, how the finished thing works. So this is my home simulator setup. That's the projector there. This is usually used at night, so the shed at the minute is too bright to really see it clear, but you kind of get the idea. Again, the projector was only €30. You can go massive money on projectors if you want, but I use this home sim setup 90% of the time, actually about 99% of the time, I'm using this after work. So I'm using it at 7 o'clock and onwards, even on to 10 o'clock at night. I'll try and squeeze in an hour. So if you want a setup that you can use in the bright, you're going to need to get a better projector. But if you're looking to just do a little bit after work, and any of us in Ireland or England or wherever you are, I know here in Ireland it's dark here at 4 o'clock at the minute, so. Lovely little 9-iron. But that's the sim. That's what I'm using. This is my entire setup. So, just a little rundown on the price. The net, €320. 10% off with code SHANK10. The shank-proof nets and the impact screen, together, they come in at €70. So that brings you to 390 quid for your net, your impact screen, and your shank-proof nets. Then you go on to your projector, which is €30. I think you can get them as close to 20 quid on TikTok Shop, but I paid 30 quid for it. That's bringing us to €420. On top of that, if you want an actual home sim experience, you're going to need your launch monitor and your mat. Together, I got them off Marketplace for €400. So that's bringing us to 820 quid. Now, the final things I showed you there as well is the connector you need to connect your phone, whether it be Android or iPhone, to a HDMI. You're going to need that adapter to play sim golf. That was 6 quid off Amazon, plus a HDMI lead. They're about a tenner. So all in all, we have got a quite enjoyable home sim for less than €850. So lads, that's my sim. That's what I'm using for the winter. This is my entire setup. Look, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or you want me to explain anything else, please leave it down below in the comments. And again, if you could like, subscribe, and share it around, it'd be great. Thanks a million, and we'll see you again on the next one.